Let's now bring in Joel Aylworth, a former San Francisco and Oakland police officer for 15 years. Joel, good morning to you. I imagine you've had your fair share of experience with protests. What are your general thoughts on protesters who literally, stop the world for a social cause?
I think it's ridiculous. In the grand scheme of things, we see this happen all the time, right? We see people change their Facebook profile to a Ukraine flag or to a red, white, and blue flag. So people are always doing these kind of things, and they think it's a very noble act to do so. But I could care less. Win me over with your excellence. I want to see you actually do something. And I think the great American economist Thomas Sowell said, those who are contributing nothing to society except their constant criticism can feel both intellectually and morally superior. And that's exactly what I see from the handful of protesters every single time.
Yeah, we hear you loud and clear there. The crowds that gathered at these national landmarks and airports yesterday, they were significant. How are they able to linger like that to the point of crippling cities and transportation, Joel?
Yeah, this has been happening since I can remember, when we really saw use of force being scrutinized back during the Occupy Wall Street protests. And the judges and the law, the courts, they really started analyzing use of force. And here's the deal. Police officers can only use force, and then there's a three-pronged criteria, and it goes back to a 1989 court case, Graham versus Connor. It's based on three things. One, the severity or the gravity of the crime. Two, are they actively resisting or trying to flee? And three, is this person an immediate or imminent threat? And so when we look at the laws that generally provide in California for specifically, there's a law known as unlawful assembly, which just says if people are unlawfully assembling, you can remove them, but it's a misdemeanor. Now, the severity of the crime is very low. Are they actively resisting? A little bit, but it's very low level resistance, and they're not a threat to anybody. They're not actively doing anything. So if I were to rush to the scene and take action, and then a use of force occurs, the court is going to frown upon that.
But if there's not use of force, say everyone here, they're just standing in the street. Is there a time limit on this before law enforcement is allowed to go in and forcibly remove? How long could they stand there before police move in?
Now that's a little bit subjective, and so the commanding officer is going to make that determination. And I think when we always look at the law always says, what is reasonable? Was this a reasonable thing to do without using 20/20 hindsight? Was it reasonable or prudent? Did the police give them ample time? And so I can't tell you what the time is, but we've seen things go all the way till evening, till sunset, before things finally got resolved. So it just really depends.
Yeah, it's just crazy to see these kinds of crowds. And this was literally meant to bring parts of America to its knees. Joel Aylworth, thanks so much for joining me this morning. Appreciate your insights.
Thanks for watching, everybody. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. Also, don't forget to click that red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.